That's based on your own values, right? I got a large contract and therefore I'm the best. I thought you were no longer with us effective last week.
Trouble Busters!
My name is Tom. I'm an easygoing 35-year-old who works an office job. Now that I'm in a managerial position, I've been assigned as a trainer for our new team member, Andrew. I need to be precise and concise. As long as I understand the overall flow instead of just each of the tasks, I'd be able to keep myself from getting overwhelmed with the volume of those tasks. And therefore, it's important to analyze the tasks on hand. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Exactly! Andrew seems to be an intelligent man with a great work ethic so far. However, what is this? It's a project proposal. Whose? Mine? What? They're quite intuitive, and I hope you read them all. I could tell that the proposal was not something realistic after just reading the first couple of pages. Look, Andrew. Yes? It's great that you're passionate to make this proposal, but this isn't going to work. That's based on your own values, right? Will you explain to me why it won't work in a logical and concise manner? Oh, dear God. I have so many tasks to take care of today. I went ahead and spent some time meticulously explaining why his proposal won't work. I'm sorry to say this, but what exactly do you know about me? I don't really know anything about you, but I know that this proposal isn't going to work. But you haven't even read the entire proposal! Well, I can already tell. Please provide supporting evidence then. I already explained that to you already. Aren't you just trying to slack off by refusing it off the bat? Look, I have other tasks to take care of. You're rejecting it without even reading the entire proposal, which tells me that you're not handling my proposal appropriately, and therefore I will have no choice but to take action regarding this matter. Are you okay with that? Okay, fine, I'll read it. I went ahead and read the entire proposal that Andrew submitted. Nope, this isn't going to work. And the supporting evidence? The supporting evidence will be, I spent the following hour explaining why the proposal won't work, and I ended up spending the entire morning. My tasks aren't done at all. Despite this incident, Andrew continued to bring me proposals to read every day. I can't do this anymore. Andrew has been like a terrible second batter to me. Is he trying to train me on speed reading? He was still on probation. He's been making other hiccups by making modifications to other proposals that have already been approved by the upper management, and he probably won't be passing his probation. Until that day, I just need to suck it up. You need to cut it out. Tom, you don't even understand how great my proposals are because you're being too conservative. You're just scared to accept new ideas. Where are you going? I'm gonna talk to our CEO. Hold on a second, you shouldn't do that. And he became a legend. He stormed into the CEO's office under his own discretion without any manners, and he ended up getting scolded for it. He never passed the probation. However, the following week... Hello? Oh, is that you, Tom? Oh, hello, Andrew. Can I help you with anything? I got a large contract, and therefore I'm the best. What are you talking about? I thought you were no longer with us effective last week. However, now that I have a large contract, you have no choice but to rehire me. What? I haven't agreed to this contract yet. I'll go back to the office right now to handle this contract with Oblis LLC. Oblis LLC? Nice reaction. That's right, I went to a VIP client Oblis's office and earned a large contract. Hold on, you can't do that out of all companies. Yes, and that's why this is a really great job done by me. Now let's go ahead and process my rehire. Hold on, Just don't say anything, okay? Are you trying to steal my credit? No! That company is an extremely important client that we've been conducting business with, and there's a dangerous monster at that company. What is it? Is this some kind of myth that you're talking about? No, the CEO at that company is extremely great at what he does, but you really don't want to mess with him. You seem quite desperate to try and steal my credit. You should be ashamed of yourself. Mr. Stephen? Mr. Harold, I heard you struggling here. If you may, I could take over for you. Yes, please. All I said was that I didn't mind hearing what he had for us just because he's from our company, but he started getting excited that he got a large contract with us. What's wrong with him? Is he like a boy who's acting like a boyfriend just because he's having dinner with a girl? He has no manners. What should we do? Will, most likely. I'm not letting him get away with this. Trouble busters! I'm terribly sorry for what our ex-employee has done here. Oh, hello, Mr. Heisenberg. Hello, Tom. We're terribly sorry about this matter. We don't even know what to say to you, Mr. Stephen. No need to apologize. What? That gentleman is no longer employed by your company, correct? He's just a rogue, right? Well, he's our former employee. In that case, can I go ahead and do whatever I want with him? Whatever you want? May I? If only you would give me the chance to take a look at this proposal, I'm sure you'll be fond of it. Would you ever eat a blowfish that was prepped by someone who's not certified to do so? Huh? What exactly are you trying to ask me? If you don't have the status of being employed, what makes you think that your proposal is something that's worth our time to even read? Results are what matters. You never generated any results, and that's why you're no longer employed by the company. It's our country's terrible culture and tradition to decide matters based on the end results. A lot of people become successful after they leave their former job. If you're one of those people, even if your company couldn't have approved your proposal, wouldn't they at least have read it? Ah, I see. I read your proposal, but I gave up after the first 3 pages. It's not worth my time. I see. So you're at that level too. I was hoping you weren't. Will you please stop judging people like that? I don't know what you were hoping for out of me, but you don't even know your own capabilities, which puts you in no position to judge other people's capabilities. Do you have anything to say about this? I see. You're not really answering my question. I see is not a useful tool for a fool to protect himself. Please answer my question. Actually, it's an interrogation at this point. It's not something that you can dodge at this point. Not only the contents of your proposal are terrible, but its volume is ridiculous. You must think that coming up with a proposal is the end goal of your job. Do you have any supporting data? You're trying to mask your poor vocabulary and expressive skills by making line breaks in an attempt to make your words as poetic as possible. Just like how teenagers do in their blogs. If you don't make any line breaks, those words are mediocre at the very best. This proposal has 100 pages, but it would only be around 20 pages if you remove all the unnecessary line breaks. Even if you make it concise into a 20-page proposal, the contents are very shallow and slim. You'll only be making slim content into a slimmer proposal, so it's not going to be worth anything. Reading such a proposal is equivalent to drinking a coffee that was brewed with beans that were dripped several thousand times prior. Something that's as close as possible to hot water. And that's exactly what your proposal is like. Do you understand what I'm saying? It seems like it's still my turn to say something, so may I go ahead and continue on? Your vocal cords are probably boring right now, and if you have no arguing points, why don't you go ahead and give your vocal cords something to do by reading your pathetic proposal out loud? Would you like to hear more about why this proposal won't work? Thank you very much. Now, let's go ahead and follow our society's rules that silence is an automatic agreement, which means that it's still my turn to be talking. This proposal has a lot of phrases that are meaningless, unnecessary, inconsiderate, incomprehensible, and unkind on a frequent basis. You're likely already in your 20s, and yet you haven't learned how to use your brain properly. Am I right about this? Whoa, what are some precise examples of that? You spelled out the words 1 and 2 instead of using the numbers 1 and 2 when you were listing these points numerically. Is there a reason why you've done this? All you had to do was use the number keys on your keyboard. Am I wrong? You probably thought that doing something different will make you stand out, and that already tells me that you're probably not very good at using your brain at all. Wow, I don't even know what to say. Mr. Steven is accurately verbalizing the things that I couldn't really pinpoint when I was providing feedback to Andrew regarding why the proposal wasn't good. I mean, he could have just told him that he shouldn't be at this office representing our company when he's no longer with us. This guy has a really difficult personality. Mr. Stevens' harsh words went on and on. Andrew, despite how thick-skinned he was, had ended up going down on his knees as if he was struggling to even breathe. Stop this! Andrew already ran out of his HP. Oh, you look like you're exhausted. I'd feel bad to further question you at this point, so I'll go ahead and further question you at this time. I think that's enough. Your proposal doesn't stand, but your crime stands. What? Did I ever do anything? Yes, you committed a crime. Tom, do you know what it could be? Yeah, misrepresentation, right? Yes. Misrepresentation? If someone who's not employed by a company decides to represent that company, there can be legal issues. When you commit this, you may be subject to a penalty of up to $10,000. A penalty of up to $10,000? You're only allowed to represent a company if you're either the owner of the business or employed by the business. By representing a company, you would have the benefit of starting off on the ground where you have social trust from other companies. And that's why you're not allowed to represent companies under your own discretion. Weren't you aware of this? Our company will definitely file a lawsuit against you for misrepresenting our company. What? You can't do that to me. I'm still young and I have a bright future ahead of me, and you can't take it away from me. You did this to yourself. If I become upset about this matter and end up terminating all contracts with your company, how are you going to take responsibilities for this matter? If that was what happened, our company would have taken a large loss. We could have gone out of business. You may not have thought about this much because all you cared about was to show yourself off to us. But you've done something terrible that jeopardized our company's entire business. I don't know what to say. Right? I'm glad you understand it now. That's not it. What? I'm saying that I don't know what to say about the fact that you were taking such a risk to take advantage of the fact that I was still on probation and to terminate me in such a despicable manner. What? Is he now switching back his target towards our company? He's snapping back at you guys now. Why did you guys even hire a boy like him? I'm so sorry about this. The disapproval of my proposals has only been something that was within the company. But what if the proposal was exposed outside of the company? A young warrior could have wanted to test his own capabilities and could have taken the initiative to visit a client's office. That's not normal. But then it actually happened, and that's why both of you are here. Doesn't that mean that you should have managed your risks a little better? No one else would ever do anything like this. That's your opinion, right? What the heck is wrong with this guy? He revived! Besides, your company policies never stated that I wasn't allowed to use my business card after I left the job. Since it wasn't stated, I figured that I was allowed to do so. I was misled. If you take a look at it that way, you would understand that this incident wasn't my responsibility, but rather the company's, correct? I'm telling you that no one else would ever do anything so strange and bizarre. And that's your opinion, right? You keep giving pathetic excuses, but wasn't it your fault that you couldn't predict any possibilities of risk that you had? It's common sense to return the business card to the company upon leaving the job. You don't understand, do ya? What you call common sense isn't necessarily anything common to my eyes. I'm questioning about that, and that's what I'm pursuing in this conversation. But I do understand where Andrew is coming from in that sense. Oh, Mr. Steven, right? I know I'm right about everything I'm saying. The company was not able to predict what their former employee could have done after leaving the job. This may be a rare case, but the fact is that it has already happened. I suggest that your company make explicit statements on your company policy and also verbally inform all new hires during their orientation that they are required to return their business cards to the company upon leaving the job. Of course. If only your company policy stated this, you wouldn't have done any of this. Is this what you're trying to say, Andrew? That's right. Also, if any irregular cases as such happen in the future, I suggest your company analyze what happened in order to come up with preventative measures. Okay. Despite the fact that he had already left the job, he has chosen to justify your actions with his sophism and point out the fact that the company policy did not prohibit him from utilizing the business card that is no longer valid. This is considered a fraud, especially if our company had ended up proceeding to sign a contract with him. What? There we go. Even if we weren't to proceed to sign a contract, he has attempted to conduct business on behalf of a company that he no longer worked at, which makes it evident that he had deceiving intentions. Wait, this doesn't sound too good. Even if the attempted fraud was not a success, he would be found guilty for such an attempt. So we may go ahead and file a police report against him. Hold on! Once he's prosecuted, such sophism on how the company policy did not state anything in regards to what he has done. I said hold on! Once he is found guilty, it would be a good opportunity for your company to have an actual example of someone who was found guilty, despite his sophism that the company policy never stated such policy. Hold on! You don't have to tell them all of that! The laws won't let him get away for simply not knowing that he wasn't supposed to do what he has done. I highly suggest you proceed without mercy. Oh, Mr. Steven! However, the police report should be filed by the victim, in this case, our company. I will go ahead and proceed by doing so, regardless of whether the two of you agree with my decision or not. Tom! Mr. Heisenberg, please stop him! You need to do something about this demon! Thank you very much. We apologize once again for all the trouble we have caused you. You see? They're apologizing. You should forgive me for their sake. About the police report for attempted fraud? Please go ahead and proceed with it. What? Of course. Like I said, I will proceed without mercy. Why? You don't have to do that. I initially didn't intend to make this into a big deal, but I honestly feel quite upset about your behavior, especially with what you've said last. You helped me make up my mind to exterminate you in every possible way that I may. What? I mean, just think about it. If this world is so wrong in a way that I'd end up becoming a criminal, I can't possibly survive in this world. You're being pessimistic. But this is horrible. You should remember what happened today if you ever get a new job, and you're about to give sophism to your boss before you do so. That's right. You'll find yourself thinking in your head, oh, that's right, I ended up with a criminal record because I was giving so much sophism. That's just your opinion, right? That's just your opinion! Let me also tell you... No! You should probably stop acting as a deteriorated version of me. Do you know why the batting method of a genius baseball player who was the MVP at WBC for 7 consecutive years isn't ever being mimicked by others? It's because that method of batting is only fit for that player. If you try and do the same just because it looks cool, you're probably gonna hurt yourself. Just like you right now, Mr. Harold. Will you go get our car? We're headed to the police station. Understood. Also, please call Mr. Cobweb and tell him that we'd like to file a lawsuit against him for attempted fraud. Understood. Stop understanding what he says! Don't do this! This is the first time someone ever underestimated me so badly. I'll make sure you suffer. It's been such a long time since anyone made me feel so motivated with anger. No, please don't do this. You don't have to do this. Andrew? Yes, are you gonna forgive me now? No matter what happens down this road, I will do whatever it takes to give you a criminal record of attempted fraud. Yikes! It will be greatly effective, and I'm sure it will bring an ominous shadow in your future while you will face many challenges in life. Stop this! Stop saying those terrible things as if you're telling me wonderful things! You will live a miserable life with endless misfortunes. I wish you the best in your future endeavors. His tone is extremely peaceful and joyous, but his words are extremely grim. Mr. Harold, let's go. Understood. We don't need 2 argument kings, and that's me. Tom, I need you to help me. I beg you. I wished I could. Yeah, we're a bit overwhelmed too. But then, once Mr. Steven is upset like that, no one can ever stop him. You saw him too, right? He was looking at you like a little boy who was given a brand new toy. That's exactly why I'm scared. You messed with the wrong person. I hope you learned your lesson and never act like an argument king moving forward. No, I'll never do that, so please help me. It was already too late to regret anything. As Mr. Steven declared, Andrew ended up being prosecuted for his attempted fraud. He's only 24, and he ended up with a criminal record, which is gonna place him in a challenging position for sure. I heard he's struggling to find a new job because of his criminal record, which was pretty much the diabetes of his life. The limited amount of jobs to choose from has definitely become a sanction for him, especially considering how self-conscious he's always been. As for me, I've been working hard and modestly, as always. Trouble Busters!